Has Iran's response to Israel's June 13th attacks triggered a peace process in Gaza? Let's analyze. No news today, but my geopolitical analysis based on the facts and, of course, without the Western spin that you'll have to suffer through if you listen to mainstream media. Okay, let you calm down. Israel's preemptive strikes on Iran's nuclear facilities on June 13th triggered what is now being called a 12-day war. The 12-day war, sorry. It ended with a never-before-seen conclusion. The US attacked Iran directly, and Iran responded by attacking a US base directly. Every country was like, what God? And yet, a ceasefire has been agreed, brokered even by America. This aligns with my analytical conclusions presented on the desire of each country. I presented these during the 12-day conflict, in fact. The US and Iran, I said, actually before the conflict, I said the US and Iran do not want a war. They each have their reasons for not wanting it, and it's selfish, for their own country, normal. Israel, however, strategically benefits from a war. This also I have explained in other videos. But what's all this got to do with Gaza? Now I'll explain. Because if you hear my analysis in this video, I think you'll agree that Iran is indirectly making peace in the besieged Palestinian territory of Gaza more likely, categorically, more realistic, right? More achievable. But before we dive in, please, I have to say this. Head over to my YouTube channel and subscribe there. I'm trying really hard to grow it. Trust me, if you want to keep connected with me, YouTube may be the best option moving forward. I'll just leave it at that. My TikTok bio has a link. You click on it, it's a link tree, then you click on YouTube and it will take you straight to my page and you can subscribe. I've got so much more stuff planned, so don't miss out. Now, back to the video. What has Iran got to do with Gaza? Well, when America brought forward the ceasefire deal, many ask, why didn't Iran demand an end to the Gaza war as part of that deal that Iran was, part of? Good question. The analytical assessment points to prioritization. Iran prioritized peace for its own people over peace for Gaza. They felt it wasn't a risk worth taking that Israel does not agree to a ceasefire, which Iran really wanted, just off the back of trying to tack Gaza on to the deal. Now, many may be upset with that, but I point out here that if you're going to complain about regional powers not doing enough for Gaza, starting with Iran doesn't seem reasonable analytically. What about the others, right? There's loads of countries, and Iran is not at the top of my list of states not doing anything for the Palestinian people, right? Now, so Iran didn't ask for. So Iran didn't. Someone saw a pause in one of my videos and said, "It's okay, let him cook." Honestly, my supporters, you guys are amazing. You're on another level, honestly. Thank you so much. Okay, so Iran didn't ask for Gaza as part of their 12-day ceasefire agreement. Fine. But here's what's important to remember. Speculation, even on mainstream media right now, suggests Israel is gearing up for a round 2. In desperation, of course. They saw America's unwillingness to join the war during round 1 and thought, guys, we have less time than we thought to pull the Yanks into a war. Even though round two seems very likely now, much more likely now than later, because Israel would worry if they put it off too long. They would worry that America would just pull out further from the Middle East and be even less likely to take part, to step in on Israel's behalf, to send soldiers to die on behalf of the occupation. But after the damage Israel sustained from Iran in round 1, Israel may be also reassessing their strategic position. Can they manage a war on 2 fronts? If they could broker a ceasefire in Gaza, even a shaky temporary 2-month one, it would give them time to focus on Iran without worry of Gaza being a problem that needs heavy attention while Iran's also attacking them, in response, obviously retaliating to them. And that's most definitely an assessment being made in Israel's war cabinet today because of the lethality of Iran's missiles and drones against Israel in round 1. They were lethal. Israel got worried, right? We didn't expect them to be this capable. And then Iran near the end announced, was that causing you problems? Bro, those were our old stock. We're just clearing out the, shelves. Right. What I want to cover in more detail in a later video is a fear that the Tel Aviv government regime, whatever, is a fear that the government in Israel has that if they try for round two but suffer too much damage, it could encourage other regional players, other regional powers, to unilaterally take action against the Israeli state. Not in coordination with Iran, but unilaterally. Right? That could be state actors, non-state actors, paramilitary forces. There's loads of players in the region. As the Arab saying goes, when the camel is down, the knives multiply. Meaning where there was no immediate threat, suddenly Israel might find threats have emerged. If their state is weakened, degraded, potentially by Iranian retaliation to a round two preemptive strike by Israel. The state of Israel, therefore, has to be careful with its next gambit. Overextend and suffer too much loss at Iran's hands, and you may end up with a lot more than you can chew. You may end up, for better or worse, choking to death. For the unbiased news and analysis without the Western spin, I'm Mahfouz, and I'll see you on the next one.